You open the package quietly, even though you live alone. Inside is the expensive sketchbook for your creative era. You place it beside the unread books from your intellectual era, the matching workout set from your athletic era, and the planner that was supposed to turn you into a woman who never forgets a dentist appointment. None of these things is ugly. None of the dreams is fake. That is what makes this spending so easy to defend. You are not buying random junk. You are investing in yourself. Future you will use it. Future you wakes up early, makes her own matcha, reads before bed, lifts weights 4 times a week, and owns exactly the right beige storage containers. Current you mostly owns the shipping confirmations. Then the guilt arrives. You call yourself lazy, wasteful, undisciplined. You keep the unused thing because donating it would make the waste official. And when a newer, better version appears, part of you wonders whether the first product was the problem. It was not quite the right planner, not quite the right shoes, not quite the right version of you. This is more than impulse shopping. It is aspirational purchasing, shopping for a future identity and mistaking the costume for the transformation. Today we are decoding why that feels like progress, what this quiet pile is actually costing, and how to keep the dream without stocking an entire warehouse for a woman who has not shown up yet. You are not ridiculous for wanting evidence that your life can change. Researchers recently looked at aspirational purchases using both experiments and real Amazon shopping histories. They found something painfully specific. People bought products for the person they planned to become, used them less than expected, and still believed they would use them more someday. They were reluctant to let them go too. That is painfully human. The purchase makes an invisible hope visible. A yoga mat can sit in your apartment today. Becoming someone who practices yoga requires Tuesdays, repetition, awkwardness, and discovering that balance is much less aesthetic when you are falling into a laundry basket. The product becomes instant identity evidence. The books say reader. The camera says photographer. The blazer says serious career woman. You get a piece of the identity before surviving the beginner stage. Fresh starts make the pull stronger. Mondays, birthdays, new months, and new years can genuinely motivate change. The problem is not believing in a fresh start. The problem is letting a retailer collect that motivation before you spend it on action. Your hope is real. Your ambition is real. The checkout is simply arriving before the evidence. It usually begins with something harmless. The productivity prop, the planner, tablet stand, morning routine journal, focus timer, and color-coded pen system are purchased to organize work you have not scheduled. Planning feels close enough to doing that the two can blur. Research shows that even perceived progress, and sometimes planning future progress, can make an inconsistent choice feel easier now. Your planner did not hypnotize you. Preparing simply delivered enough relief that the pressure to act went quiet. So you arrange the new system, miss 2 days, and decide you need one better suited to your brain. Your money pays for repeated setup. Your actual goal keeps waiting for a Tuesday at 7. Then preparation becomes commitment cosplay, the complete hobby starter kit. You become interested in watercolor, running, pottery, baking, or film photography. Before one clumsy session, you research the best beginner setup. Somehow, the beginner setup needs 12 pieces, 3 accessories, and a storage cart with excellent reviews. Buying everything removes uncertainty. It makes your interest feel official. It also raises the emotional price of being bad at the hobby. Now, your first attempt has an audience, several $100s of equipment staring back at you. If the activity is not immediately magical, the supplies become guilt with handles. Because you bought everything before practicing, you never discovered what you actually needed. Next comes the lifestyle costume, because every identity now has a uniform. The runner has a coordinated set. The home cook has matching cookware. The entrepreneur has a beautiful desk and a microphone. The well-read woman apparently needs a rolling library ladder before she needs a library. Social feeds make the objects easier to display than the practice. Nobody can photograph the quiet month when you repeated one basic skill and improved a little. They can photograph the package. The cost hides because every piece looks defensible. An $80 planner, shoes for $140, a $200 course, a $70 hobby kit. Nothing looked like one giant splurge. Together, $490 moved out of your future and into 4 different drawers. Then the shopping gets more personal. It starts invoicing your body. You buy clothes for the size you expect to be, the office you might enter, the dates you plan to go on, or the social life that begins after you finally become confident. The item feels responsible because it is preparing for success. But the clothes cannot serve you now. Instead, they turn your closet into a daily performance review. You inherit tags, return deadlines, sizing anxiety, and a tiny argument with yourself every morning. The purchase was supposed to welcome future you. It quietly tells present you she has not earned the outfit yet. Clothes should fit a life you are living, not invoice you for one you are trying to earn. Now, the spending needs a respectable name so it becomes an investment in yourself. A real investment has a plausible path to future value. But this phrase can turn any purchase into a morally superior expense. A course you do not complete. Professional clothes for events you do not attend. Premium equipment before you know whether you enjoy the work. Calling it an investment removes the normal questions. When will I use it? What cheaper version would test the idea? What behavior changes after I pay? The purchase becomes proof that you take your future seriously. Then the credit card balance charges current you for that proof. Your future self receives another obligation before she receives a skill. Finally, the guilt becomes clutter, and the clutter becomes a reset. You donate the supplies, promise to become intentional, and feel lighter. That can be healthy. The money is already gone, and keeping an object does not refund it. But if you empty the shelf without changing the buying rule, you have only created retail space for the next identity. A new season arrives. A new creator explains the hobby better. A new product promises less friction. You tell yourself this version is different because it is smaller, smarter, or on sale. Sunk cost guilt kept the old item too long. Fresh start optimism buys its replacement too quickly. You pay twice for the same untested intention, then treat the shame as evidence that you cannot change. It is only evidence that decluttering and purchasing are 2 different systems. Here is the cruel part. You bought these things because you believed in yourself. You wanted a fuller life, a stronger body, a creative practice, a calmer home, work that felt meaningful. The spending was not proof that your dreams were shallow. It was proof that they mattered enough to make you impatient. You were not really buying the hobby. You were buying relief from being a beginner. The object let you skip ahead to the woman who already knew what she was doing. But every symbol asked for money and attention the real transformation needed elsewhere. The unused course took from your emergency fund. The complete kit made beginner discomfort feel more expensive. The future body clothes turned aspiration into surveillance. That is why the pile hurts. Each untouched object is not merely clutter, it is a frozen promise. Looking at it asks whether you failed, when the more honest answer is that you tried to buy certainty before the messy evidence existed. Then the pile made the ordinary first step feel embarrassingly small beside the identity you had already purchased. The dream was never fake. The shortcut was. You do not need to stop imagining a better life. You need to stop making current you buy credentials for it. The future version of you is not built by owning her objects. She is built by repeating her Tuesday. Use one system with 3 moves. Practice before props. Move 1. Pay her first. Put an automatic transfer on payday, even if the amount is modest. Research from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau found that guaranteed saving rules were associated with stronger outcomes than rules triggered by spending. Your future deserves money, not just merchandise. Then name the behavior without naming the product. Do not write, buy running shoes. Write, walk and jog for 20 minutes after work. Do not write, build a home library. Write, read 10 pages before bed. The goal must contain a verb you can perform. Move 2. 3 repetitions before props. Complete 3 real sessions using what you own, borrow, rent, or improvise. 3 is not a magic scientific number. It is a small honesty test. 1 attempt can be excitement. 3 attempts need a place on your calendar. This is not about proving you deserve nice equipment. It is about letting real behavior tell you what equipment would help. Move 3. Prove the limitation. Wait 72 hours, then finish this sentence. I practiced, but I am specifically limited by blank. I completed 3 runs, but my current shoes cause pain. I cooked 4 times, but I lack a pan that can do this job. I finished the library copy, but I need this reference beside me for the project. This will make me the kind of woman who is not a limitation. That is the sales pitch wearing your voice. You can still keep a small experimentation allowance. You are allowed to try things. You are allowed to lose interest. A life with no abandoned experiments would be suspiciously efficient and extremely boring. Curiosity gets a cash limit and 1 starter object, not a full identity subscription. If you buy, attach the purchase to an if-then plan. If it is Tuesday at 6, then I use it for 30 minutes. Specifying when, where, and how makes action more likely. Pay her first. Practice 3 times. Prove the limitation. Practice earns props. Props do not purchase practice. Look around your room and find the future self with the most inventory. Is she the athlete, the artist, the reader, the organized woman, the entrepreneur, or the woman waiting for a different body before she starts living? Do not punish her. Give her a calendar. Choose one thing she supposedly does and complete 3 small repetitions before buying anything else. Then notice what you actually need. Tell me in the comments which fantasy self has been shopping with your card and what your first real repetition will be. Send this to the friend with a pristine planner collection and a very persuasive future self. You are allowed to become someone new. You just do not have to prepay for all her belongings.